We're live. How's everyone doing?
Awesome. I'm
Cool.
horrible. Thank you for asking.
Oh
Uh,
no.
yeah, yeah. This is an impromptu hangout. If everyone's wondering why they didn't know about it, it's an impromptu hangout to celebrate the birthday of Abaddon5. Happy
Yes,
birthday, Abaddon5.
thank you.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. You're all right, no matter what everyone says about you.
Happy almost birthday. Or I don't know what time zone you're in. Never mind, you're in America, so it's not your birthday yet.
Yeah. Well, it's your birthday in Britain now because it's tomorrow now in
Yeah.
the UK. I'm talking you
1:05 a.m. was my birth time.
Aha.
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
all that stuff.
So,
So yeah, it's I guess an impromptu vegetarian
yeah, I
kind
guess
of
so.
talk. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, go for
I
it.
want to ask a question. When you guys were first talking about doing this, what was that, a week something ago? Were you guys getting like really pissed off by like some of the anti-vegetarian stuff, like some of the people saying the stuff about it, or is that just me?
Wait, was it in the hangout or on the comments or?
In the comments on Facebook.
Oh,
Oh, I
yeah,
didn't see that.
Okay.
yeah.
Oh, wait. Oh, you're talking about Progressive
Yeah,
Alliance with like, okay, yeah, I was
Yes.
so angry.
Okay.
Chris had to send me an apology message. Like, I was mad.
Okay. I thought you were like, I thought like maybe you were just kind of playing it off like, okay, just shut up,
No, I
or
was
maybe you were
so.
mad.
It just like in the McDonald's thing, it was so disrespectful.
Yeah.
and unoriginal.
And they said like they were concerned about our health. Like, okay.
Well, see, one thing I love about this is whenever you say something like, yeah, I don't eat meat, or I'm vegan, whatever, they say it's unhealthy. But then you say, well, what about these people that eat like McDonald's? Well, that's not real meat, so you have to eat the good stuff. It's like, well, if you do some kind of meat-free diet, you have to supplement it. So isn't it kind of the same thing? Like, you have to eat properly either way.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah,
right.
yeah. There are good and bad ways to do any diet. I think
Yeah.
you can do vegetarianism badly
Yeah.
if you don't eat enough fruit and veg. If you just eat a lot of
Cheese and
starch, yeah,
carbs.
yeah, you can. It can be bad, but then if you do it properly, you should be okay. I'm
Yeah.
not dead. Yeah, I would say I'm not dead. So
Yeah. And like I said, I haven't eaten it for close to 6 years, and I've been fine. And actually, I've been better because I used to get sick about 5 to 7 times a year. Now I don't get sick like ever.
I mean, neither. I never get sick.
yeah. Well,
I felt
half people cut, like I had recently. That's about it. I very rarely get ill.
yeah, because it seemed like it was so much easier eating meat, because I used to get Chinese food or Taco Bell, a few times a week, 4 to 6 times a week for Chinese food. I loved it, but it just, I don't know. Like now, I haven't had it in a long time, and I feel fine without it. But it just that really did piss me off, like to no end, that they were just making these shitty comments when it's like no one is pushing anything on you. It's not like people are saying you eat meat, you're bad.
Asking for a hangout for people who, like, yeah, it wasn't insulting anyone.
Yeah, that's it. Well, people feel threatened. I think I think people automatically feel like they're being judged
Yeah.
by the existence of vegetarian people. Their
Yeah,
very existence is
yeah,
gone.
people just act weird. Like I actually usually hate telling people that I'm a vegetarian because they just act really weird.
Me too. I feel you so hard right now.
Yeah.
Never mind. I was gonna make a "that's what she said" joke.
I knew someone was gonna say something.
But I mean, I've jumped people's asses in real life, like because at first, sometimes people they'll be like, "Oh, you don't like it? Does it offend you that I'm eating this?" No, just shut your fucking mouth. I'm not offended. I don't care. But
Yeah.
I have jumped people's asses like super hard for doing that, and then they get offended. Like, I'm just making a joke. I'm like, okay, well, joke time is over. Shit just got real, motherfucker.
Yeah. Well, people have said that to me. Like, they said, "Do you mind if I eat this in front of you?" And I said, "Well, if you're gonna eat it anyway, I don't see why I would care if you did it in front of me or not." It
But
doesn't.
don't put it in my face and go haha moo or something.
That's what she said. I can keep on going. That's what she said.
I was about to say that. Oh my god, stop.
Yeah.
No.
But yeah, I mean, I just want to make sure I wasn't the only one like reading these, because I mean, I think I was at work on my breaks and I'm reading this exchange. I'm like, why are people being like this? I mean, it was just like a proposition, like, okay, just a couple of us will get together, talk, about this. But no, it has turned into a debate. It's like, why? Like, you're not gonna.
It was mostly like Chris, but Chris does that on every post all the time. He just likes to argue with people, make people mad.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you guys remember Evo Gen videos?
Oh, the name rings a bell.
Yeah, Bill, like he used to do a bunch of like science videos, and he was exposed basically as a fraud by Lithodid Man. Like apparently, like he was a Google scholar, even though he accused other people of being Google scholars. He didn't have any kind of degree in biology, but he preached it, and he would insult people for not knowing what they're talking about. But after he was exposed, basically his little pet project was an anti-vegan blog. And at first I'm just like, okay.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, why do you care? Like, honestly, and then he would like throw some stuff out there, like vegetarians. I'm like, okay, not all vegetarians do that, 'cause that's true. I have never done that to you. And it got to the point, he eventually blocked me because apparently someone told him, hey, this guy's slagging you off, and all this, and it's just like, why is this your new project? This is what you're going to do. And he never linked to it, so I couldn't read it, but he actually said one time, I disproved the morality argument with veganism. Yeah.
God. I sort of want to read stuff like that just to see how stupid it is, but then at the same time, I don't want to read it for the same reason. It can depend. It's like it's like, have you heard? When people start saying plants have feelings too.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I used to ignore everyone who said that because I just thought they were being facetious. But it turns out some people really do believe that, and they really do think it's a good argument. And I was just like, wow, really? You think plants feel things like animals do? That blew my mind. There's actually people who really think that. They're not just being facetious. They actually really do worry about the suffering of plants, even though they still eat them as well. Like they still eat
exactly.
Yeah, and animals. Yeah.
It's like, at least we feel bad about one kind of group. You don't feel bad for any of them. You just say, I'm gonna eat meat, whatever.
Yeah. Chris was watching this, and he just messaged me.
What did he say?
He was like, I hate you right now, not letting me defend the arguments.
Fuck it!
Well, I've got to be honest. The argument that he's such a good person because he eats meat so he can give blood is
yeah, I've never been turned down once. Even though I've been vegetarian for many years, and like the couple years I was giving blood before that, yeah, I've never been turned down once for having low iron. In fact, you have to have like a 14 or something like that I'm always at least 2 points higher.
Mm. I've never heard that argument before, though. I've heard every other argument.
I've heard that. I've heard that before.
You've heard it before. I've heard every other
Wow.
argument before, but not that one. That was a totally new one on me.
Well, because I know, like, women they sometimes have problems with iron, especially, like, if, they're going through their menstrual cycle, because you're losing a lot of iron from that. But then I think just women in general have lower iron than men. I might be wrong on that, but that's what I've heard.
Yeah, women have more trouble with that than men do, usually, on average.
I've never had an issue.
And I don't take any kind of...
Like, I was pretty severely anemic when I first became a vegetarian, but that was because I was just not eating right.
Yeah.
But, like, since then, I've never had a problem whatsoever.
Yeah. Well, hummus is good, because chickpeas are quite high in iron.
Yeah. Like, I don't even, like, check my food content to make sure that I'm getting enough iron. I just make sure I eat and, like, not junk food, and then it's fine.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have to, like, plan out my meals or anything.
Yeah.
So it's pretty easy to not have low iron.
Well, I try and get my 5 a day, fruit and veg in. Okay, I try and get between 5 and 10 portions of fruit and veg into myself in a day. That's the only thing I really watch. That and not too much sugar.
Yeah, I always like I try to get like a high fiber, and usually mostly with like vegetables and fruit. And then once I have my fiber, then it's like, okay, now I can eat junk food if I have room.
I suppose so. Yeah. Well, that's one of the things. Sorry, go on, Dave. Go on.
No, I was just like, eh.
Yeah, I was going to say the availability. Well, it's a double-edged sword that things like chocolate and ice cream are becoming available for vegans more and more. Because on the one hand, it's great. It will make veganism easier for people, but it does mean a lot of people who might have become vegan for health reasons are suddenly going to start eating a lot of sugar again or things like that. So it's.
I love vegan ice cream.
Yeah, it can be
I've
good.
never had it.
You know,
I like almond milk.
There's a few different types. The stuff we get over here is Swedish glass. That's just basically soya-based ice cream. It's nice, though. It just tastes like ice cream, really.
Because I'm not even big on milk. I mean, people are like bewildered because I don't put like anything in my coffee or my tea. I just drink both black unsweetened, and people, you don't even put milk. No, I buy like a small bottle of milk, and it actually just goes to waste because I don't drink it. I really don't use it for anything. I just in eggs. I mean, I'm allergic to those anyway. So.
Oh. Right.
Really?
Yep. Oh, it's weird because my brother, he was like really badly allergic to them when we were young, and I was always fine. But then it just really swapped. Like I used to work at a coffee shop, and we had eggnog for this Christmas drink. I took like one little sip, and it just hit me right away. Yeah, I mean, I had to go straight into the bathroom. I'm like, okay, this is bad. It sucked. Yeah, I mean, I just don't understand. People, they can just drink a glass of milk. I've never understood that.
Me neither.
It is pretty gross.
Yeah, it's
like I used to do before I was vegan. I used to do that. I would drink like milk by the glass.
I've never understood. Like maybe with cookies, something, cake or whatever.
I mean, I'll have it now. Like I'll have like glasses of soy milk or nut milk or rice milk or whatever. Now, I quite like nut milk in tea. It's quite nice. But coffee, I always have it black. I've never liked the idea of anything milky in coffee, but yeah.
Even my tea, I can't put sugar in it anymore. It just, I don't know, it just makes me more thirsty when I drink it. So I just hot tea at work pretty much all day, and then iced tea when I get home, and that's pretty much my beverages the 5 days of the week.
Yeah. Well, if it's a proper tea, like something like excuse me, something like Earl Grey or some kind of leafy green tea, then I wouldn't put anything in it other than hot water. If
It's disgusting. I don't know what you guys are doing with your lives.
hang on. Tea is a time-honored British beverage, and yeah, it's traditional and all that crap. But tea is good if you get like proper Oriental tea or whatever. It's really, you don't want to put anything in it other than the tea. But if it's cheap tea bags like I buy from a supermarket, I'd put some. I sweeten my tea with stevia. I don't know if you've ever heard of that.
Yeah, they have that here.
Yeah, calorie free, but it's a natural sweetener. It's not an artificial sweetener, so there's no nasties in it, and it's
Yeah,
completely calorie free.
that artificial stuff actually, that I'm allergic to that too.
Yeah, it can be worse for you than real sugar, artificial sweetener. But this stuff's natural sweetener, and it's something like about 8 times as sweet as sugar is. So you only put a small amount of it in. I think they cut it with something else, even just so you can get I'd put like a quarter of a spoon in, or a third of a spoonful.
What do they
Because
cut it
it's
with?
really...
Cocaine?
I think they excuse me, sorry. They cut it with something fairly harmless, but it's just so you can actually use a spoonful of it, because otherwise, the amount that it would take would be like a pinch otherwise, because it just to get that sweetness of sugar.
You're talking to Americans here. We drink crap that is like syrup tea.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Well, because I've not been to America, but I've been to Canada, and I was amazed how big everything was. You could just buy huge bags and portions of everything.
Yeah, but Canadians are weird. They have milk. They sell it in bags.
Really? Because obviously I
Yeah.
didn't buy any milk, whatever. I remember buying soy milk and stuff, and rice milk and stuff, and I just remember the jugs of it were huge compared to what we have here. They were the same brands a lot of the time, but they were just in these huge cartons, and I was like, "This is awesome." Everything's huge over here.
Everything's even bigger here in America.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I find it weird because I visited Toronto, and Canada seems to be like a big meat-eating place. Like they're big on hunting and things like that. But at the same time, they're quite good for vegans as well. That they have like vegan options in restaurants and things. And I thought it's partly because Toronto is the most multicultural city in North America, as I understand it, which may explain
Yeah,
that.
I've heard that.
But I was just quite impressed by that. Like even some quite ordinary restaurants had vegan options labeled as such and everything. And
Canadians are getting upset about the bag milk comment.
Wait, I'm sorry, but that's fucking weird. I mean, put it in cartons or a bottle or something, some kind of like regular, normal human container.
Oh,
So, well, normally I think they put them in like pitchers. Like you put the bag in a pitcher and you can like, I don't know.
Okay, well, skip the fucking bag and just put it in the damn pitcher.
do you have milkmen in America?
We used to.
Because that's still a thing in Britain, and yeah, they deliver the glass bottles with the silver tops of milk.
Yeah.
I haven't had that for years, obviously, 'cause I don't drink milk, and even before that, we actually stopped bothering, just started buying milk from the supermarket. But that is a time on the milk float at 4 a.m. sort of clunking over the speed humps.
I think I think the last time I can recall it was like when I was very young for like WIC. They'd bring you the government milk and cheese in the morning, and I don't think I've heard anything about that in a long time. That was probably back in 87 or 88.
Yeah.
So it's been a long time.
Well, are you familiar with Margaret Thatcher and how she was nicknamed Milk Snatcher Thatcher? Because there was free milk given to school children in the 80s, and then Thatcher came along and said, no one should have anything for free, because, yay, capitalism and miserable conservatism, and free milk was no longer given to...
Well, Reagan, he said that
yeah.
ketchup was a vegetable, so, I mean,
So is
we
pizza.
have... What's that?
That was pizza, apparently.
Yeah.
Remember when they made pizza a vegetable in the United States?
Yes.
Oh, man. Well, you eat donuts for breakfast over there. I don't mean you do, but you Americans do. That's just weird.
Why? How is that
Donuts.
weird? That's like the
Donut-
that's the greatest thing to eat for breakfast.
Donuts. Oh no.
Donuts
There's
would make
no
me sick.
fiber in a donut, or you want high fiber, carbohydrate.
Look, when I was younger, when I was like 18, I would go down to the to the little gas station. I'd get 12 Krispy Kreme donuts, all different
Krispy
ones,
Kreme was my
and
shit.
and I would eat all 12 of them myself.
Ew. Ew.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
how did you
And then
do
the thing is,
that?
and I was down to like 118 pounds
Oh my
because
god.
I played drums and I walked everywhere. But yeah, I'd eat all 12 myself in one sitting.
Well, I was probably similar, but I used to eat crap for breakfast when I was a kid as well, but it wasn't not considered normal. Like, people used to tell me not to do it. So I probably would have eaten donuts for breakfast as a kid, but people would tell me to stop doing it and eat cereal or toast or something instead. That. But
I mean,
before I was a vegetarian, I used to just eat complete garbage all the time, and then I went vegetarian and found my health improved. I was like, "Oh, this is cool," and then went vegan.
well, I mean, I've gone through those stages. Like when I was young, we didn't have like any money, so we had to eat like Hamburger Helper all the time,
Yeah.
pizza, frozen pizzas. Then I started getting healthier, and then kind of went off and did my own thing in high school, and I'd eat like a couple microwave burritos in a day, and that would be it. So I was,
College life.
well, I mean, it wasn't even college. It was just because we had no money, and I was just basically staying at a friend's house, and no car, so we had to walk everywhere. And like I said, I played drums, so I was very, very thin. People thought I was like starving myself to death, and I really wasn't. It was just I didn't have money to buy food, so I didn't eat.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, I was down to like 118 pounds,
Mm.
and yeah, and I'm like 5'6", so yeah, it's pretty small.
Tiny.
Well, how tall are you?
4'11 3/4.
For real?
Yes.
Wow.
Yay!
Hey, I was 4'9" in 7th grade, so don't feel bad.
Aw. I was probably
Yes,
3'9".
I was always short as a kid, and yeah, I was 4'9" when I was at 12. I was like, oh man, I'm never gonna get any bigger. I'm the shortest adult male in my family, so that sucks.
I'm 6'1", I think. That's-
Really?
Bastard!
Yes. Yeah. Well, it's not good. I bang my head on stuff all the time, though. It's not good. And sometimes people stop me in the street to tell me how tall I am.
That would be me. I would be that person.
It's weird as hell. I was standing outside a health food shop with a friend of mine eating a vegetarian snack a while ago. This was a few years back. And this old lady walked past and just looked at me and said to my friend, "He's very tall, isn't he?" I was like, "What the fuck?" I thought, you're old, so you're an old lady, so we'll let you off because you probably lost your marbles, but still.
Yeah, my uncle, he's like 6'3", 6'4", something like that. He went to Japan, and I guess like people are like scared of him because he's this big, tall, white guy, and they're already kind of phobic. And he's like they're like they're like my height, so like they feel like this guy's just gonna step on him. I'm like, that must have felt weird.
Yeah.
So, but I hate
one of the things. I was gonna say, I mean, have you ever studied martial arts or anything like that?
No, that took money, which we didn't have as kids. So.
Because I was saying, I mean, one of the reasons, because I trained in Muay Thai for a few years, and one of the reasons we do it slightly differently over here is because we tend to be taller, and we're better at punching for that reason. Like, we can punch people a lot easier because tend to have longer arms, and we've got that kind of height reach thing, and that's one of the reasons why Thai boxers started trying to train like Western boxers, because they realized that people in the West can punch better, because they're shorter. They're a bit because they're shorter. They're more about these elbows and knees and stuff like that, because that's close range kind of stuff. But it's interesting to me like how they've adapted these arts, because people are doing it. Like our instructor, he's a Thai guy, and he's quite small in my opinion, but he's actually quite tall for a Thai, because he's, over there they consider him to be like unusually tall, but he's actually probably my sort of shoulder height. He's not especially tall in my opinion, but yeah, it's one of those weird things they had to adapt, like certain martial arts, to accommodate for the fact like Westerners were doing it.
Doesn't it have to do with like the protein in their diet too, or our diet, I should say?
Possibly, I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, you like that?
But that's all these like elbows and kicks and stuff.
I can't imagine you hitting anyone ever.
What, me?
Yes, you.
Oh.
What about me?
Well, I feel like you get angry.
Well, actually, yeah, I used to be a lot more angry when I was younger. I was actually thinking about this story today. It's weird that now it's just popping in my head. We're at this bar. I think we were trying to get a show, me and my band, and there was another guy in a band called Pity the Fool, and I fucking hated them. And he was like hitting on this girl that I really had a thing for, and I wasn't like getting mad, but like he was like trying to rub it in my face. So I go up and I grab a pool cue, and my bass player's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm gonna go break this over his fucking face." And he's like, "Oh, no, man, we're not gonna get this show." I'm like, "I don't care. I'm breaking this over his face, and I'm probably gonna stab him with it too." And I was ready to do it. I'm like, "I'm gonna kill this guy." I know. I'm a little calmer now, a little bit, but
I've got some anger issues. I get in fights a lot.
All right.
Really?
Do tell.
Yeah.
Do tell. Oh, you said you got concussion or something, didn't you, the other day?
Yeah. My camera's not on right now because I've got some, a black eye and.
Are you serious?
Really? Oh, come on, you got to show us that.
Turn on the camera.
Oh.
Camera on, come on.
My face looks so bad right now. Like
you can't just say that. You can't just
I
say
know.
that.
You can't get a build up like that and not deliver. You can't do it.
Come on, I'm here with my MRA beard. Come on.
Yeah.
My MRA.
No.
Oh,
come on, do it.
Maybe later.
I'm not going to leave you alone until you do it.
It makes me feel so like, I don't know.
I don't care. We're not like happy. We're not happy cabby asking you like to show us your feet or anything weird. We just
Oh my god. Okay. Speaking of, sorry.
Happy cabby asked you to show him your feet?
No. Okay, so like this person sent me a request on YouTube to do the duct tape challenge. Have you heard of this?
Duct tape?
It's like this kidnapping challenge. It's called different things where like your friend like puts duct tape and like over your mouth and your like wrists and ankles and you have to try to get out. But like I like went to his channel and he like was just liking these videos of girls doing this and I was like, I'm not gonna do this. Like what is wrong? Yeah. I was like, ew.
That does sound weird, yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's why he's asking you. He's like, oh, this girl is really attractive. I wonder if she'll do it.
Yeah.
Not.
But you show us the black eye. Come on.
Yeah.
No.
Come on.
Oh,
Oh, you're
Maybe.
damaged goods, lady.
oh God.
Now I'm really curious. Now I'm like,
Yeah, yeah.
This girl. What does she look like with a black eye? Like, is it really that bad?
Yeah, I feel like so horrible right now. My face looks not very good. I'm not.
Okay, wait, you're gonna go to school, aren't you?
I'm gonna wear a helly makeup.
You could do the comb over.
Okay, maybe in a little bit, but switch subjects now.
No more pressuring women after she said no, like, I don't know how many times. So
I'm clapping right now.
Hey, come on, we're friends. I'm not gonna.
Like, I know it's not like as
You
bad.
MRAs.
Right.
I know it's a black eye. Come on.
Oh
You guys
no,
are
no,
basically Thunderfoot.
MRAs wouldn't do that. They would probably call us what is that, pussy chasing manginas for doing that?
White Knight.
Yeah.
Whatever.
White Knight, yeah, what, I don't know. I've been insulted by so many of those guys, I just kind of like, whatever. I guess we could talk about that then, yeah. MRAs.
Oh yeah.
Which,
They
yeah, the
found
video...
my YouTube.
Did they?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's the same boat I was in, what was that, 5 years ago?
Mm.
So, yeah, they have a habit of just going through all of your videos about their stuff and just thumbing them down and putting nasty comments.
Yeah. And then mostly I've noticed like the same people from like Captain Andy's channel have come in.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
they seem to do that. Like they'll kind of go to like your kind of feed where it's like, you know, you like this video or whatever, and they say, "Oh, MRA, see, oh, this is gonna be something I hate."
Yeah. The actual MRAs are a whole like different breed. I'm not just talking the anti-feminist here. The actual self-identifying MRA, they're a special kind of crazy. I mean, you know,
Special kind.
yeah.
Oh, they are.
Because they're not just the ones sitting there going, "What? I don't want to have to change myself in any way." They're not just doing that. They're actually they're advocating for some whole new weird kind of system. Did everyone read the like expose on Paul Elam?
Yeah.
No, but I've heard some of the stuff.
Yeah, it's bad.
Wait, are you talking about the stuff with his kid?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
abandoned his kids. He abandoned his kids, and he actually signed a
What is
would
that,
you
like an
call it?
abdication of parental rights, something like that?
He signed a form to say he didn't want anything to do with his kids anymore.
And then he beat his grandchildren.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His daughter gave him a second chance when they met up again in adulthood, but I don't know why. You know, he doesn't deserve it. But I suppose from her point of view, you'd try, wouldn't you? You'd put the effort, but yeah.
Well,
I
I mean,
remember the thing I remember the most about that was that he had, I think it was 2 ex-wives who refused to even comment because they were scared of backlash.
Yeah. Yeah, he's just such a wretched human being.
actually, I think I don't even know if this was meant to be like kind of a parody, like these MRA dickheads do, like where they're like, oh, we're not saying this. It just, you know, makes you think. That guy who said that rape in on private property should basically be legal,
What
so that
the
women.
fuck?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have. Yeah, like he said, like, well, if women could, you know, if it's possible for them to get raped, you know, with no like repercussions for the guy, then maybe she'll protect her phone and purse. You know, the way I don't know, she'll protect her, you know, her sexual organs the same way she protects her phone and purse or whatever. That was basically what he was saying.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's a like they actually mean it too. Like I saw a video a while back with one MRA. He had a number of videos about rape. One was titled "Don't Walk Into It," and there was like another video where like some of his advice was for women to never be alone in the same room as a guy unless you intend to have sex with him, because you like doing anything like flirting or hugging or anything like that, that would give them the wrong idea, and then I guess you're asking for it or something. It was, oh my god, it was awful.
Yeah.
And I
Well,
think it was featured on A Voice for Men too.
Well, didn't you counter that by saying, man, if you don't want to be falsely accused of rape, never be alone in a room with a woman, and definitely don't drink anything.
Damn.
Because you know, she might
Yeah.
sleep. Yeah. And I thought that was quite funny. Yeah.
well, I mentioned this in a few of my videos. There was a guy, either he was commenting on one of my videos. I think it was, actually. I think that's why I kind of got into it with him. He said that a cop friend, of course, it's always you know, a friend of mine told me this, and they the cop told him that 90% of rape allegations are false, but he would even be willing to go a step further and say 95% of rape allegations are false. Yeah, because rape never occurs,
That
apparently.
makes no sense.
Yeah, and it's not even taking into account that police are biased themselves. Like, there's been studies showing that they are biased too, like some more than others. So even if he did actually have a friend that was a police officer that said that, like, that person is probably biased as fuck and is just making shit up.
Yeah,
And
there's racist cops too. That doesn't mean anything for the white nationalists.
Yeah.
Yeah, cops are, especially in America.
Mm.
I don't know.
And the fucked up thing is, I was actually supposed to be a cop a few years ago.
Mm.
Yeah, I passed all my tests and
Really?
everything. The city ran out of money, and I couldn't get it. Like they had to stop hiring like all civil servants, and I'm actually really glad I didn't do it because I'm like, yeah, there's too many cops that are just dickheads, and I don't want to be a part of that. So I'm actually really happy that I never like tried to really reapply.
Yeah.
They just steal people's drugs and smoke it themselves.
Well, some of them do that, but like I mean, Columbus cops aren't horrible for the most part. I mean, I've come across a few that are just assholes. Like even like when you're trying to help them, they try and treat you like a prick. But
Yeah.
it happens.
One of the only saving graces in the UK is that police don't carry firearms as standard. So
Yeah.
you just slightly less
Really?
likely if you
Mm-hmm.
yeah. The only police officers who carry firearms would be the armed response unit, and they actually have to be called out if there's been some kind of if there's been criminal activity involving guns, like someone's tried to rob a bank at one point, then they call the armed response unit out. Generally, police as standard don't carry guns, so you're not as likely to die if you run afoul of a corrupt police officer.
I mean, let's be honest. Does anything really happen in Britain? I mean, anything at all?
Well, I mean, this is one of the things. I mean, there was an incident. Did you hear about the riots a couple of years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that was all started by the armed response unit because they shot some guy who was apparently supposedly a drug dealer, although evidence suggests he probably wasn't. And they planted a gun on him after shooting him to try and make it look like he'd shot them. And then there was riots. There was a quite a legitimate protest, but the police refused to address it. They didn't come out and meet the protest or anything, or talk to them, or try and talk to a spokesperson from it. And this protest just kept going, and eventually people who had nothing to do with the protest came and jumped on the bandwagon, and before you know it, there's a full-scale riot going on in London. And London's a big place, you've got to understand. This happened in This happened in Tottenham, but the whole of London suddenly was rioting. Then in Birmingham, which is fucking miles away, that's about 200 miles away from London, that they started rioting as well, just because they'd seen on the TV that people were rioting and getting away with it, and they started rioting. And I think Manchester had some riots, and that's another like couple of 100 miles up north. And this was just ridiculous. It's like these whole cities are just rioting. Because the police haven't done it, you haven't sort of dealt with this very initial, very small protest over someone being shot, and the police did fuck all during that as well. They just stood around letting this stuff happen. And at one point, this police officer was on the news giving this sob story about how his riot gear was out of date. He was going, "Oh, it's really dangerous out there. Our riot gear is 10 years out of date." And I was thinking, right, there are civilians out there standing in front of their shops with no riot gear at all, and they're defending their shops from looters and rioters because you aren't doing anything. And
plus, have the rioters, have they they're 20 years more advanced than they were 10 years ago?
No, exactly. They're just kids basically with bricks and stuff. Yeah, it's like, oh, my riot gear isn't on Vogue. Oh no. How silly will all the other police officers think I am? Just think,
that's one thing I'm actually shocked about here in like Ohio, because I mean we have some shit cities. Like Cincinnati's a shit city, but they really don't have riots. It's just, I mean, it's a third-rate city in all honesty.
Yeah.
I don't really care for it, or Cleveland.
Mm.
So, Yeah, I mean that. I do remember hearing about all that stuff, and I'm like, man, they're really rioting over there. They seem
Yeah.
like better than us. It just seems like beneath
It is
British.
very rare. It's very rare. Actually, crime has gone down in the UK over the years. Crime is descended, but that was a very rare and weird incident that I think was largely down to police corruption and incompetence. Without wanting to excuse the people who rioted, because they were a bunch of idiots. And I say a bunch of idiots. There was a lot of them, but because they weren't. It started off being a legitimate protest, but the actual rioters, they were just looting shops and just stealing stuff, and it was stupid. But I think the police could have done a lot more about it, and they just didn't do anything. They just stood around watching it happen, and then they cleaned up some of the mess afterwards. But good grief, I mean, it's not what we pay our taxes for. We don't we don't pay them just to watch the police stand around like lemons. But generally, no, gun crime is not really a big issue in the UK. People can't get hold of guns, really. They're very difficult to get hold of, so we just don't have that problem.
I wish we could say that here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. yeah. It's the weirdest thing. Watching American news, and it is the weirdest thing in the UK, watching all this gun cause. Even watching TV shows where people, ordinary people, have guns is weird for us. It's that's so strange.
And I like guns. I mean, I was born in Texas and all that, and I always made the joke that that's something that's ingrained in my DNA. So, but I like them. But some of these people, they're jerking off to their guns, and I just don't understand it.
Yeah. It's weird to us. I mean, the only people who have guns over here generally are farmers. They're allowed to own them to protect their livestock from predators or whatever. But that's it. Even though they're only allowed shotguns. They're not allowed
Damn.
anything like
handguns.
Handguns. Handguns were completely banned over here after the Dunblane massacre, because I don't know if that might have been something you heard of in America, but it will have been back in the 90s. That it was a guy in Scotland just went into a school and started shooting kids. But that is so rare over here. I mean, that's not the kind of thing we hear about all the time. And handguns were completely banned after that.
That's crazy.
But
here you could just get them and.
Yeah, well, Andy, have you heard of? I think it's Andy Murray. He's a tennis player. You might have heard of him. He's famous, but I think he went to Dunblane. He was a survivor of the Dunblane massacre. But he's now quite famous tennis. But I think Andy Murray is the guy I'm thinking of. I don't follow sport, so I'm probably wrong. But that was the guy.
Someone here follows sports. She has blue hair. I don't know. I'm just trying to make a joke.
Okay.
Because you're not talking.
I mean, I was just muted.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think you talked about that in the last one, Hangout too, and.
Did I?
No, not you.
Oh, okay. I was like,
I
remember my connection kept messing up, but I don't remember talking about that.
Can I ask where in Texas you were born?
Yes, Mesquite.
Oh, I'm from Dallas.
Yep. So yeah, I'm from a suburb of Dallas there.
Yeah, my friends live there.
Yeah, I mean, I think my mom is back down in that area. I do not have a relationship with my mom, so I don't care where the hell she is, honestly. But well, I mean, she really fucked us over bad when she left. When I was 3 and my brother was almost 1, and yeah, she really screwed us big time. So I'm just indifferent towards her. I don't hate her because I got over that. I had my mommy issues by the time I was I mean, I got over that when I was like 13, and I think the last time I saw her was when I was 23.
Oh, damn.
So yeah, I don't, I'm over it.
But she was in Texas too.
Yeah, well, my dad, he moved to Texas. He met her. They had me. Then my grandma convinced them to move here to Ohio because that's where my dad's from.
You're
And
in Ohio now? I'm in Indiana. Oh my god, it's so crazy.
I know. And actually, I've been to Indianapolis, so
Oh man.
yep. I've been here. I've been there. I've been every fucking where. So what? Sorry.
Okay, Dr. Seuss.
No, it's I forget who the band was. It was a Metallica cover,
Oh.
but yeah, I mean it is weird. I was like, man, both from Texas, and she lives in Indiana. That is really weird, actually. And Indiana kind of looks like Ohio cut in half. Yeah.
Illuminati!
Yeah. Oh my. So many people have been requesting me to make another Illuminati video. Like, why do you want me to get that mad about stuff?
I do that on purpose. I think it's so funny. I was watching your videos. I was creeping.
Oh, that's okay. I've been creeping on your videos, so I'm just like, this is actually a normal person. I should watch someone like this. Not just people like Coughlin and... Well, Andy's pretty normal.
Coughlin's hilarious. Andy's great too.
Yeah.
I just said you were great, Andy, by the way.
Yeah, I got back just in time. Yeah, sorry. I got back just fucking back to how great I am.
Well, she said you're great. I said I didn't like you, but...
Oh, never mind.
And I was like, Andy Dufresne. He was my friend. He crawled through a river of shit. Anyway. Yeah, Coughlin, Andy, I heard you were mad at him. Is that true?
He made that transphobic joke, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's not the first time he said a kind of transphobic joke, but he never, like, means it.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I was mad at him. I think it was a stupid joke. It was really stupid. I did say something about it in a video.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I remember. Okay.
To me, it's the way he reacted, though, afterwards, which was kind of bad. Like, I think if he just said, apologized for it, it might not be so bad, but it's that kind of that kind of Facebook meltdown thing went on, that was kind of counterproductive. And then he sort of apologized, didn't he? But then he started, I don't know, like cisplaining would be the word. He started saying, "Oh, if everyone just did things the way I do them, we'd make so much more progress. So everyone should just let me get on with it and lead us to victory." So
at least
when I first joined Progressive Alliance, one of the people did warn me about him, and we're like, it can be a little bit all over the place, just FYI.
Well, he's got Tourette. Coughlin has Tourette, and like I talked to him a few times on Skype, and I mean he is a talker. Believe me, you barely get like 2 words in. He's just like, oh yeah, and I was thinking about this and this and this, and oh my god. He is just going on and on. You're like, all right, I'm gonna let you just let loose, buddy.
Yeah, I've watched him in a hangout once. I think he was doing a hangout with Live Life, who I don't like anyway. But he was doing a hangout, and he just kept talking and talking and talking. And Live Life was just like, hang on just a sec. Eventually, just because he realised he just one long kind of, it's I suppose it's a spiel, isn't it, of humor.
I mean, he says funny stuff. I mean, he's very, very, very funny. Like, I mean, he'll say some things, and I'm just like laughing for like a week about it. Like, and maybe it's because my family, we're pretty funny, so like, I don't know, you kind of take jokes and build on top of it, and that's kind of what I do. Well, I would build on top of his jokes if he shut up for a couple seconds.
Oh, this is live, guys.
That's okay. What, is Coughlin here?
You might watch it. I don't know.
It's live and dangerous. Yeah. Well, the thing is, I mean, I don't really like worship anyone on YouTube. You know what I mean? I like people, but if I think they're wrong, I'll probably tell them.
Yeah, well, I mean, Coughlin, he's probably been like my favorite for the longest. Like, he was one of the first people I really got into because I didn't even know there were like atheists and stuff here on YouTube when I first got started. I was just like watching, music videos, and I saw like The Amazing Atheist, and then I just quickly grew to hate him. And oh,
Same.
seriously, like, I started watching him. I'm like, okay, this guy's all right. And then he said some things. I'm like, okay, fuck him. And I unsubscribed. Then I'm like, okay, maybe I'll give him another chance. Maybe he was just like, he had a couple stupid videos. Okay,
No.
I unsubscribed probably. This was probably about 4 years ago, and I have never resubscribed.
Yeah.
I hate him.
Yeah. Yeah, he is an awful human being. He has said
You
some.
get some underwear. Amazing atheist underwear.
Yeah. He has said some of the most fucked up stuff. Like, there's a really obscure video of his where he's basically defending paedophilia.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, it's a really old one. It's not on his channel anymore, I don't think, but someone's mirrored it somewhere, and
Yeah.
you can't download it there because of the nature of what he's saying. I think YouTube has restrictions on that you can't just download. I've tried it, downloading it, but yeah, he basically says that he thinks if pedophiles adopt a child and abuse the child, as long as they're feeding and clothing the child,
What
somehow
the fuck?
they're not monsters, is what he says. Because that child will be better off than a child in the third world. That's his argument.
What the fuck?
You need
Yeah.
to find that video so we can watch it.
Yeah, it's so weird. It's oh god, I don't know what it is, but that is one of the weirdest things he's done. Plus, it's worse that I've posted that to fans of his, and they aren't bothered by it.
That's the kind of stuff you post to them. I usually just post that picture of his tiny cock.
I've
Oh my
never seen
God.
that. I've avoided his sex videos at all costs.
I haven't watched him. I've seen like screenshots. I'm like, okay, that's enough. He is
I think I've seen some very small thumbnails and definitely not clicked on them. I'm like, no.
Yeah, Encyclopedia Dramatica did a pretty okay job of that. I'm like, oh, that's all I need right there. I don't need to see the video.
God, yes, but I've heard he has a very small dick. Yes.
Oh wait, and I've thought of something funny. I used to be a mid-level manager at Toys R Us, oddly enough, and they had for Despicable Me, they had this fart gun. And, you pull the trigger and it makes a fart noise. If you guys have seen the movie, there's the fart gun. And you, like, pump
I have one.
this... Oh, you do? Does it have the banana scent?
I don't know. It's my little sister's.
Okay. There's one, if you pump it enough, you, like, pull the trigger and this banana scent actually shoots out. I'm like, oh my god, it's like the Amazing Atheist farts. I so wanted to do a video with that, but I was afraid I'd like, get in trouble.
Bananas for everyone. It's like you just can't enjoy bananas anymore.
Yeah, I know, and especially since they called it Banana Gate, like they couldn't call it something else, like
Oh my
Anal
God.
Gate or something. I'm like, banana. Fuck, now I know I don't want to eat bananas. Even when I think of banana now and laters or something, I like can't do it. But yeah, I hate that guy. Well, oh yeah, and then here's another thing that pissed me off about him. Like, Coughlin was accused by one of TJ's little lackeys, Halcyon, of basically making fun of a rape victim who I think she killed herself, and supposedly Coughlin was making fun of her for that, which isn't true. I even asked him, he's like, that never happened, ever. There's no proof of this. I would never do that. But TJ was fucking with that one girl who was raped, and she had PTSD. Yeah, he was purposefully trying to like get her to like I don't know if he said like snap or something along those lines. Like he was just fucking with her.
Yeah,
So-
I actually
Damn.
like quoted that a couple times on a video to his fans, and they are not bothered by that either at all. one person said that she deserved it because of her username. Because her username, I guess, was something misandric, like, I don't know, kill all men or something.
Mhm.
So they said that she deserved to be treated that way.
Oh yeah, of course. Rape victims. I mean, it's probably her fault, right? Dickheads.
Yeah.
But and it blows my mind that like he's got so many subscribers, and like so many of the people that like him, they watch every one of his videos and they hold on. I mean, they hang on to every word he says. It's like this guy is not smart. He is pseudo-intellectual. He says things. He thinks he's way smarter than he is. I mean, he's the smartest guy he knows, and just I don't know. I don't understand. Like, why don't more people call him? I mean, when you really do do the research, there's a ton of people that hate him, but not enough. Someone hanging up tinsel or something?
What?
It's like.
Wait, where did Andy go?
I don't know.
Not again, Andy.
All right, I'm just with the two ladies now. That's how I prefer it. Hell with all the sausage fest situations. Yeah, maybe.
Pretty even.
Well, that's okay. I'd rather have two girls against me, but I prefer the company of women. I don't know why.
We're just awesome.
Especially fine-looking ladies such as yourself. See, I'm very charming when I want to be.
All right, thank you.
I can be very charming. I've had some. Okay, maybe like stupid people fall in love with me, but whatever. But anyway, yeah, maybe his connection just messed up because I know mine did. Last time I was in here, it just basically kicked me out and I couldn't get back in. So.
That's weird.
Yeah, I know sometimes he has problems with Hangouts.
Well, the British, they are a little less advanced than we, so.
Yep.
Actually, yeah, I had that video. A few years ago, we had this like little fake drama. It was Coughlin made videos against a couple of Americans, and then we were kind of going back and forth. It was like, oh no, we're Americans, so fuck you Brits and all this. And it was actually really funny, and I did one. People thought I was serious, even though I put in there, like in the description, like, this is just a joke. I'm friends with Coughlin, But I thought it was pretty funny, but be like, oh my god, another atheist civil war? I can't believe this. Because I was there during the time, like, when the Amazing Atheist and the Coughlin thing really blew up, and it's like, oh, you have to pick a side, and, do you like the fat guy or the skinny British guy? Great, no one's gonna talk now.
Everyone's just quiet. I didn't know what was happening.
Sorry. Like, I'm pretty tired right now. Like, my sleeping schedule is all screwed up. I'm usually a night owl, but...
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I mean, I'm actually back on a good schedule. I have a good job now, a real job where I just work, 5 days a week, same schedule every day, and getting paid some decent money, so I'm lucky for that. I work at a Toys R Us, you had to close and sometimes be there till like, I think on Black Friday I was there till like 1:30 in the morning, and we closed at midnight.
Wow.
Yeah, it sucked.
Toys to play with, if you're bored.
Oh no, not on that day. That's the busiest shopping day of the year. It was just horrible. I mean, we had the most theft out of any store, I think, in the district, and the most layaway. It was not like the best area, but hey, I actually thought it was pretty cool. I mean, it's a toy store for fuck's sake, so it's obviously going to be pretty fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, just getting to build bikes and stuff and be a manager. That was fun. Most people didn't even believe it. I worked there. What's that?
At least you're not a prostitute.
I used to be. In New York, I was dancing. Without any clothes on. And
That's always
you used to go down to the guys and get tips and give them a little hand job, for $10. There's nothing to it. I just give good blowjobs.
I'm so proud of you.